Nothing says the pot calling the kettle black more than a person, for example, crying foul and claiming to feel hurt or offended by someone they deem bitter or negative, controlling and self-centered, when the offendee himself or herself possesses the exact same traits. Hello, the pot calling the kettle black. We hear that all the time. That's a proverbial saying we use to express when someone criticizes another for faults that they themselves also have. The context of this popular idiom is akin to "he who is without sin cast the first stone," which we find in the Gospel of John. In other words, judge not lest you be judged. This is why today's Gospel from Luke, where the eyes actually are the focal point of the parable, probably made some of us squirm a little bit. Why? Well, because we know we are prone to judge others. And all begins with our eyes. Our eyes serve as our camera, not only to access the beauty of the world on earth, but also the world of every individual. It's through our eyes that we see other persons and observe their behaviors, thus giving way to our tendency to measure ourselves by what we see in others. Oftentimes we do it because it makes us feel better. We think, oh, at least I'm not like that person, or at least I know better than that. We'll get that moment, that brief moment of satisfaction. It's almost like a high, but ask yourself, is it really satisfactory? I don't think so. We can see very well, all right, and still be blind. We can see the data in front of us, but be blind to the reality because what we see is not what we want to believe. We also buy into an argument that feeds our anger because the wooden beam of self-interest in our consciousness prevents us from realizing the devastating impact that this will have on others who don't matter. Jesus is crystal clear in his message to us today. He's calling us to remove from our eyes and hearts the wooden beams we've become so comfortable with. They are nothing but obstructions that protect us from truths that we'd rather not see. They are a form of darkness where we can cowardly hide from the painful light of truth. Momentarily, allow the Eucharist to be your mirror that touches your heart so deeply that you can see what your own eyes have been missing. Pray that you really see God in all things and all people, especially those who have hurt you or offended you, especially those who are just hard to love. And pray that people can see God in you.
Thank you for joining us for this celebration of the Mass. This virtual Mass is broadcast to hundreds of people every day of the week. You know, over 100 years ago, the very first celebrations of the Mass took place on the second floor of the Glenview Public House. It's been inconceivable that 100 years later, we would be reaching so many people all over the world through this technology. If you'd like to support the ongoing broadcasts of OLPH's Masses, please go to our website, go to Give Central, and you'll be able to support the ongoing outreach of this virtual ministry. Thank you for your support. Most of all, thank you for joining us in prayer. God bless you.